1968 was a year bursting with soul, but not every gem got remembered. The Intruders had us stepping smooth with a groove that slipped through the cracks. And Young Holt dropped an instrumental firestorm that still turns heads. These are 12 forgotten one-hit R&B and soul wonders from 1968 that deserve another spin.
Can you slip away? Slip away.
Number 12, I Wish It Would Rain by The Vows.
Sunshine, blue skies, please.
The Vows, a small vocal group from Newark, New Jersey, recorded I Wish It Would Rain in 1968, not to be confused with The Temptations' bigger hit of the same name. Released on a tiny East Coast label, this version had all the aching heartbreak of classic doo-wop carried into the soul era. The story goes that the group never had national distribution, so their record only caught fire locally, playing at basement parties and teen dances.
Call so badly, I wanna go outside.
Imagine hearing it in the summer of '68, the crackle of vinyl mixing with the sound of distant traffic. It never charted nationally, but those who had the single swore it was every bit as good as what Motown was putting out.
Words could never explain, I just wish it would rain.
For The Vows, it would be their shining moment before fading from the scene, leaving behind just this one hauntingly beautiful slice of soul history. Number 11, Check Yourself by The Intruders.
This one takes us back a few years, but it's such a gas, I just know you're gonna be glad about it. The Intruders.
Before The Intruders hit big with Cowboys to Girls in 1968, they cut earlier records that barely got noticed. One forgotten single, Check Yourself, had the hallmarks of Philly soul, lush harmonies, storytelling lyrics, and that unmistakable Gamble and Huff touch. While Cowboys to Girls went top 10, Check Yourself only made noise on local radio stations and jukeboxes in Philadelphia clubs. The song was essentially a warning. Watch how you treat people, because karma's always listening. You can almost see the neon lights reflecting off the dance floor, the DJ spinning this 45 as couples swayed. But, as fate would have it, the track was overshadowed by their breakout hit. Check Yourself became a one-hit blip in the story of Philly soul, a track lost in the shuffle but cherished by collectors today. Number 10, Love Makes a Woman by Barbara Acklin. Barbara Acklin was a powerhouse voice who never quite broke through to superstardom. Her 1968 single, Love Makes a Woman, was her shining moment, cracking the top 20 on both the R&B and pop charts.
Something told me that this wouldn't last. Now my honey...
The song's lush horns and tender delivery made it a perfect soundtrack for late-night radio listeners. Acklin herself co-wrote Have You Seen Her for the Chi-Lites later on. But as a solo artist, she could never quite match this one's success.
What she is, yeah. What she is.
Picture cruising down a Chicago boulevard on a humid night, the AM radio softly buzzing with Barbara's voice. For many fans, that was their one introduction to her artistry. Though she continued to write and sing behind the scenes, this track stands as her unforgettable one-hit wonder moment. Number 9, I'm Gonna Do All I Can to Do Right by My Man by Ike and Tina Zaquettes.
It's titled I'm Going to Do All I Can to Do Right by My Man.
The Ikettes, famous as backup singers for Ike and Tina Turner, had their own brush with fame in 1968. I'm Gonna Do All I Can showcased their raw vocal power and gospel-inspired harmonies.
Just another face in society.
Released on Pompeii Records, the track was fiery, full of grit and promise, and briefly climbed the R&B charts. Still, without major label push, the Arquettes never established themselves as stars in their own right.
He may never be a rich man, Lord knows it's
This record captures a fascinating moment. Women stepping from the shadows of a big act and demanding to be heard. Close your eyes and you can feel the urgency in their voices. It's pure soul defiance.
Oh, yes, yeah. Oh, to do right by my man.
Sadly, this one hit was their peak before sliding back into obscurity. Number 8, Selfish One by Jackie Ross.
Selfish one, why keep your love to yourself?
Though originally recorded in 1964, Jackie Ross's Selfish One found new life in '68 when it was reissued and caught attention all over again.
Oh, it seems like you built a fence around your heart and a
It was her one defining track, blending Chicago soul with girl group sweetness. Jackie was just a teenager when she first recorded it, and by 1968 she was still trying to chase that same magic.
You let so much time pass by, and I found myself.
Imagine the sound of this playing at a roller rink, kids gliding under a mirror ball, Jackie's soaring vocals bouncing off the walls. Unfortunately, disputes with her record label stalled her career, and she never landed another big hit. Still, Selfish One remains a timeless anthem for anyone who ever loved too much and gave too little back.
Now, selfish one, you're walking.
Number 7, Slip Away by Clarence Carter.
I want to sing a song for you now. It came out a long time ago.
Clarence Carter would go on to be a Southern soul icon, but Slip Away in 1968 was his one undeniable crossover smash.
Can you slip away? Slip away! Slip away!
Released on Atlantic Records, the song's simmering groove and Carter's aching delivery made it irresistible. What many don't know is that it was originally meant as a B-side. DJs flipped the record and couldn't get enough of Slip Away, sending it racing up the charts. You can almost smell the smoky juke joint air where this song found its home, dancers moving slow and close.
but could you just slip away without him knowing you gone?
Though Carter had regional hits before and after, Slip Away became his signature one-hit wonder to the wider world, forever tied to that sultry summer of '68.
Can you slip away? Slip away, slip away.
Number 6, Wish I Didn't Miss You by Chuck Jackson and Maxine Brown.
Same old story back again. She's not a lover.
By 1968, both Chuck Jackson and Maxine Brown had seen bigger days as solo artists, but together they struck lightning one last time with Wish I Didn't Miss You. The duet showcased aching harmonies, the perfect blend of masculine strength and feminine tenderness.
Now you think it's funny. Now you wanna spend your money.
Though it climbed modestly on the R&B charts, it wasn't enough to revive their fading careers. Still, the song carried a bittersweet charm, perfect for a dim-lit lounge, a glass of bourbon in hand, and the weight of lost love heavy in the air.
That's the one that's gonna do it to you.
It would be their only remembered duet hit, now cherished mostly by Northern soul fans overseas. If those forgotten gems from 1968 are bringing back memories, or maybe introducing you to some soul you've never heard before, give this video a thumbs up. It helps us keep the soul alive and uncover the stories behind the music. And stick around. We've still got 6 more wonders to go, including a jaw-dropper at number 1. Number 5, You Don't Love Me by Willie Cobbs.
You don't love me, yes I know.
Originally recorded in 1960, Willie Cobb's You Don't Love Me had a revival in 1968 when soul DJs rediscovered it and spun it like new. The song's hypnotic riff and bluesy delivery made it a dance floor favorite, especially in Memphis and Chicago clubs. Even though it inspired countless covers later on, from Junior Wells to Dawn Penn, Cobbs himself never saw another big hit. Imagine that smoky guitar line spilling out of a corner bar jukebox, couples swaying in half light. This was Cobb's one unforgettable moment, forever embedded in the DNA of soul and blues. Number 4, The Horse, by Cliff Nobles and Company.
Okay, this is Barry Richards, the boss with the hot sauce, and on Groove In today, Cliff Nobles and Company, and they're going to do their big #1 record all over the country, a stone million seller. This is Cliff Nobles, and there's little Tina. They're going to dance the horse.
Now here's a true curiosity. Cliff Nobles didn't even sing on his biggest hit. The Horse, an instrumental version of his own song Love Is All Right, became a runaway smash in 1968, climbing all the way to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. Backed by what would later be known as MFSB, the Philadelphia Studio Giants, this funky instrumental filled dance floors coast to coast. Picture high school bands blasting it at pep rallies, kids clapping along. For Nobles, though, lightning never struck twice. He never had another hit, vocal or otherwise. Still, The Horse gallops on as one of the funkiest one-hit wonders of the era. Number 3, Here Comes the Judge by Shorty Long.
Hear ye, the court's in session, the court's in session. Now here come the judge, here come the judge.
With humor and groove, Shorty Long's Here Comes the Judge became an unlikely 1968 smash. Inspired by a comedy skit from Rowan and Martin's Laugh In, the song mixed courtroom humor with a stomping Motown beat.
I know to you I may look old. Hope this statement ain't too bold, but here comes the judge. Here comes the judge.
Shorty, a gifted pianist and singer, seemed poised for a breakout. Sadly, tragedy struck just a year later when he died in a boating accident at age 29. That left Here Comes the Judge as both his high point and his legacy.
Here come the judge, here come the judge.
Imagine teens laughing and dancing in front of black and white TVs, the song playing as a cultural in-joke. It was joyful, funky, and unforgettable, even if it was his only big hit. Number 2, So Much Love by The Hourglass.
I'll never forget you for what you've done.
The Hourglass, featuring a young Greg and Dwayne Allman before they formed the Allman Brothers Band, dabbled in soul before their Southern rock fame.
My world was cold and empty, yeah.
Their 1968 single, So Much Love, showed their deep respect for R&B, with silky harmonies and grooving rhythms. While it didn't crack the top 40, it became a cult favorite, hinting at the greatness the brothers would later achieve.
Always on the taking in, never giving, never.
Imagine catching this on a scratchy 45, not knowing you were hearing legends in the making. For The Hourglass, this would be their one sole statement before history took them down another road.
So much love to give you.
Number 1, Expressway to Your Heart by the Soul Survivors. And here it is, our number 1 forgotten one-hit wonder of 1968. Expressway to Your Heart by the Soul Survivors was the very first hit for Gamble and Huff, the architects of Philly soul. With blaring horns, urgent vocals, and that unforgettable traffic jam metaphor, it became a national smash. But for the Soul Survivors, it was both a blessing and a curse. They never matched its success again, leaving this song as their defining moment.
Fella started to shower you with love and affection.
Picture cruising down the expressway with the windows down, the radio blasting, the whole world alive with possibility. More than just a one-hit wonder, this was the sound of Philadelphia soul being born, and it still stops listeners in their tracks today. From smoky barroom ballads to funky instrumentals, 1968 gave us one-hit wonders that proved lightning really can strike once. Some of these artists faded into obscurity. Others went on to shape music in new ways, but each left behind a track that still makes the soul stir. Thanks for joining us on this soul stroll. Subscribe to keep the groove alive and never miss our next journey. Up next, the unforgettable soul hits of 1969. Click it, and let's keep the rhythm rolling.